Yeah. We back in the building. Y'all know what it is. Welcome back to More Than a Title, episode 286. I got my guy in the building. We about to have a great episode. But you know what it is, man. I'm your host, Jared, Chief Revenue Officer, Outside the Box Digital. And we about to get it in, man. But before we begin, you know, I would like to start grateful and thankful and grateful for all the supporters, man. Y'all keep us going straight up and down, man. Thank you for everybody on LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitch. TikTok is going crazy. The YNs is loving it. I appreciate y'all, man. They sharing and reposting, so I'm grateful for that. You know what I'm saying? I got kids their age and all that, so it's just love, man, to see that the message is resonating with them. Shout out to Instagram. We had some great posts this week, man. Shout out to everybody that's reposting, collaborating, making sure we get the visibility we need. And thank y'all for the support, man. It means everything. And before we begin, man, I just want to give a quick shout out to the Monday Night Mentorship. Shout out to my brother Jabari Hearn. He's a real brother. He's one of the biggest C-suite executives in corporate America. He hit us up like Monday. Just hit me with a calendar invite. Boop, like, yo, son, 5 o'clock. You there? Nah. I'm accepting like a mug. When you get those conversations, when you get those relationships, you got to go. But it was a great vibe. We went to the bar, Velouz, down on Houston Street. It was dope, man. Met a lot of dope people. We network and everybody's exchanging numbers. Everybody's collaborating, throwing ideas at you. And that's the type of room you want to be in. So I just want to say shout out to Jabari and everybody who does the Monday Night Mentorship. Shout out to Julian Duncan. He's coming on the 14th. That's my brother, man. But I just want to say thank y'all for providing a space, especially as Black C-suite. So if you guys don't understand, like, it's very difficult for you to get in these rooms and get into a position where you have this and your livelihood's on the line and still say, I'm going to put the ladder back down. I'm going to make sure people get the game. I'm going to make sure people get the sauce and get to where they need to get to, because he don't have to do that. They don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? When I first came in the industry, I thought you had to marry in to be C-suite. You feel me? I thought you had I was the long braids down my back. I'm sitting there still talking like this. I got baggy pants on. Nobody to show me the ropes. I had to figure it out. And most of us have to figure it out. So it's good and refreshing to make sure that we got people like them that's making sure that we on the right path and we collaborate. And I'm glad to call the brother my mentor, straight up and down. I've only had 3 mentors in my life. Ken Gibbs, Solomon Choi, rest in peace, and now Jabari Hearn. And just to be able to, call him my brother, be able to just, know I'm going to call him and he can pick up. He's going to shoot me a text and just pour into a brother. That means a lot. So what I tell my mentees and anybody listening, get you a mentor. Get you somebody who's been there. Get you somebody who's in those rooms that you want to be in so they can tell you how to maneuver in those rooms and how you could get value and how you bring value in those rooms. What I want to do, I know for me, all my mentors I had, I want them to look at me like Tom Brady in the 7th round. I saw him early. He listens. He boom. He gives game. He's attentive. He's going to do the right moves. He got my trust. He's not going to say something I say back here and make me look some sort of way. And that's what everything is when you got a mentor and a mentee relationship. So try to make sure y'all Tom Brady in the 7th round. Make sure you be the person that they proud of. You know what I'm saying? Make sure, because if they're giving you time, the way you pay them back is by being successful. It's by giving the game back. By being somebody they can say, I saw early and I'm proud to be his mentor. That's how you give the game back. So with that being said, shout out to Jabari, shout out to the entire team. And, with that being said, let me give my brother the intro and let's get the shit popping. You dig?
Let's start the show.
Get his brother the proper introduction he deserves, man. I just want to say, me and his brother been connected for about a year, man. Shout out to Steve Pomone, man, our brother. We end up posting that when we did that last year. Jabari's one of the first people that we actually just chopped it up. You know what I'm saying? It was like, so I saw him. I didn't look at his page. I didn't do nothing. Sometimes energy, you just know. You know what I'm saying? By the way somebody commented something like that, and we just end up exchanging numbers, making sure we tapped in. We had a great conversation, and we just always supported each other, man. So this has been a long time coming. I'm excited for this episode. It's an honor to have my brother here. If you first-time listeners, welcome to More Than a Title. Once again, I'm your host, Jared, and this is all about the real conversations. The real stories. How'd you get to where you are? What's the ups, the downs, everything that you overcame to be who you are today? Because that shit is like shedding skin when you're trying to be successful. So we have to know that, and we're going to pass the game down. So it's going to be a no-fluff conversation, and this brother embodies what it means to be more than a title. From playing professional basketball overseas in Luxembourg, Morocco, Belgium, to stepping in the world of sports marketing at the highest level, working with iconic brands like Nike, Jordan Brand, ESPN. He's built a career rooted in storytelling, strategy, and athlete empowerment. But what makes the journey even more powerful, he's taking what he's learned on and off the court and created a platform, the Second Half Podcast, where he dives deep into the real stories of athletes navigating life after the game. So you guys seen him in the boardrooms. You see him on the podcast. You see him out here moving and shaking. Now he's on your favorite podcast for the very first time. Let me introduce my brother, Jabari Saunders. Yeah.
Yes, sir. My brother.
Kaiser, what's the word, baby? Pleasure and honor, baby.
Man, it's an honor. I'm so glad we were able to connect. It's so crazy to circle, listening to the intro like Steve Pammon. That's my man. That's my brother. That's my fraternity brother. But even on, more importantly, he has been a mentor and somebody who has really held me accountable. And not only just him, but the hilarious part about it, as you're talking about it, JD, Julian Duncan, Jabari Hearns, those are my big brothers working in Nike early in the day. So we can get into those conversations when I tell you.
That's crazy.
Man, it's hilarious, bro. It just brought me back to those days of like, man, I remember when I was young and hungry and grinding and trying to figure out this space of being in the boardroom, and I'm seeing them moving and shaking and being at the top at these C-suites and space. And I'm just like, bro, that's who I got to be. I got to connect with them and make sure I get the game from them, because there weren't many of them, weren't many of us who's sitting there. So we got to make sure that we're doing what we do. So, man, brother, I appreciate jumping on with you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you see Marcus, my boy Marcus in the building.
Yes, sir. What's up, my brother?
Yeah, that's my bro, too. But, he been on the show. That's my brother, man. Horse Kicks doing amazing things, man. Proud of you, bro. You know the vibes. Appreciate you for checking in, man. So let's start from the beginning, because we're going to get into some stories. We're going to have some real talk, bro. Tell the people a little bit about yourself, man, and, growing up, some early influences. And, by the end of the show, I want them to know the mindset and everything you've been through. So let's start back in the past.
Yeah, man. Going all the way back, man. I'm originally from Joliet, right outside of Chicago, about 25, 30 minutes outside the city.
Okay.
But, I grew up, just like anybody else. I had aspirations of playing the game, whether it was basketball, was football, was baseball. But honestly, I found that love with the rock, man. There's nothing like it, just having that round ball. And early on, just competing with my brothers and growing and learning and loving the game. And I was obviously influenced by people who were, a part of the circle, obviously, but more importantly, my parents. My dad, he played basketball at a high level. My uncles, they all played sports, baseball, basketball. So I just come from that sports foundation. And so that was something that was always a part of me. Fast forward, my high school team, we were number one team in the state back in 2002. We were the number 8 team in the nation, I believe, right behind LeBron's St. Patrick's St. Vincent team. We had tons of D1 guys who played on that team. Our class in 2002 was crazy. Like, you had the Sean Dockery, you had the Michael Thompson, you had just from Illinois, you had D Brown who played at U of I, you had Andre Iguodala. Like, our AAU team was stacked. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
And that's just what kept me around the game by, us literally grinding, being in the gym, working on our game, just getting better and not taking no for an answer, and, playing with the top teams and things of that nature and wanting to play at the highest level. It's like, all right, you got to put in work. And for us, it was like, you got to go out and go seek it. Like, you can't duck the smoke. Just like anything, you can't duck it. Like, hey, if the competition is over here, if Proviso East, I got to go see my man D Brown. Hey, D, Shannon Brown, we coming to hoop with y'all. You know what I mean? If we're going over here out south, I'm going to see my man Rick Cornett. He ended up going to Notre Dame. Hey, bro, I know you 6'10", but we about to get out here and battle. And that's what it was like, And so that's what we loved. And growing up in that space, and basketball was truly a part of my growing up. And then from there, honestly, obviously we got decisions to make. And
before you go to the decision, what's one of the craziest stories from that moment, bro? Because if you 8th in the nation, bro, you in the circuit, you're playing it, you seeing LeBron up close, you seeing everybody, boom, boom. Like, what's one of the craziest games or moments you had?
Man, I'll tell you this. So our practices used to go crazy. Practices used to be better than the games, honestly. But our team was stacked. I mean, like I said, we had guys who could just hoop, and we loved it, and we just wanted to see each other get better and better. You had Mike Thompson that played at Duke. You had D Brown, who was at U of I. You had Andre Iguodala at Arizona. You had Orlando Tucker at Wisconsin. Rick Cornett at Notre Dame. Like, Aaron Spears, who went, like, you just had D1, D1, D1. And you got guys 6'9", 6'10", but here's the best story I had. So we were playing early on, obviously high school season is going. We had just finished playing against Thornwood the year after Eddie Curry left Thornwood. but Melvin Buckley and a few other guys who played. But we played there at the United Center, played against them. We ended up losing at the buzzer. So we all pissed. We all like hot. We should have made it. We should have won that game and then went downstate. We played at the United Center. It was crazy playing in that game. But then after that, what we ended up doing, we ended up having practice at our school for our AAU team. And our AAU team was Illinois Warriors, who played for Larry Butler. And so he held it at our high school. And so we all in the gym or whatever, and we hooping, we getting up and down, we scrimmaging. I'll never forget. My man, he comes down the court, goes through, he getting trapped full court press. Andre Iguodala steals it, one dribble through the legs, boom. Just one dribble, just, hold on, that's not even it. This was the craziest part. That's all like, hey man, you're different. You're playing at a different level. We already knew that. The next trip, my man, he comes down the court, tries to get the ball across half, loses it again. One more bounce, catches it, double hand windmills, it splashes. I was like, you're going to the league, my friend. Like, what are we?
Hell yeah, certain people is like, damn.
You're going to the league, my friend. You know what I mean? So, but that just kind of, it exposed you to understanding how did they work? What was their work ethic like? What was their mental like? And also, you had to meet that because they held themselves accountable and you didn't want to, hold the team short of what we knew that we could do. And so the team, we played well. We ended up going and winning a national championship for our AAU team at the time. But it was special. It really was.
That's fire, bro. So, but what people who don't play ball don't understand, the same like boxing, bro. It's the work you put in the mental. There's so many variables to success. There's a lot of brothers. What kids say? There's a brother up north that didn't get that better than Jordan, didn't get that shot. Yeah. There's mad nice people that didn't make it, bro. I know for myself, I used to play. I had scholarships and all that, bro. I was nasty with it. Stopped in high school. I got, you know what I mean? Got the turd and all that, you know what I'm saying? But even that, bro, like the decisions you make, there's a reason why Andre Iguodala is Andre Iguodala. There's a reason why Kobe was Kobe. There's a reason why J Kidd was J Kidd. All the decisions they made, the choices they made, choosing not to go to the club, choosing not to the party, choosing the right friends, choosing the right circle. All of those elements got to come together for you to make it. And then you still have to perform.
You still got to perform.
And that mental, right? Like knowing you put in the work. Do you trust the work you put in? You're not gonna fold out here. You're gonna come out here to Rutgers. Yeah, where you gonna come out? You got 50,000 people watching. You gonna take that shot or no?
Yep.
That's crazy, bro. So once you win the championship, you're getting a taste of national success. I know scouts is watching you, people hollering at you. How you navigating that in like college and all that?
Yeah. So crazy part is here I am. I'm looking at all of my boys and they all getting, all the letters from the Syracuse, the Notre Dames, the Dukes, the Carolinas. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, okay, I'm playing with them. At the time, I started trying to compare myself to their situation. And for me, I'm like, man, okay, so I'm going to these schools, and it was interesting. I was getting Northern Illinois and Iowa State, and they were only willing to offer me partial because they were like, well, look, man, you're 6'6", you're an undersized post player. We'll be willing to give you a partial. But there was a couple of schools that I was interested in. Obviously, I wanted to go D1. I wanted to play at a high level. And I ended up going NAIA, and I got recruited by, I went to St. Xavier University. And going to St. Xavier University, the coach that recruited me was very strong in the coaching, in the basketball. He was actually Dwayne Wade's high school coach. And knowing my dad coached as well, he had a great relationship with him. He was like, that's the guy I want. I really want him to come play. And so I was like, listen, I trust you. I've seen what you've done with Dwayne. I've seen you excel. He was like, man, come on, let's go. And so, Coach Fitz, he was my man, and he pulled me into it and was like, hey, man, let's get out here. Let's go hoop, man. Let's put in the work.
Fire, bro. And so what? So you go there, bro. You starting year one, all that. You had the red shirt, all that. What happened?
So this is where things started to get dicey. And I used to not talk about this early on, but here I am. I'm in the gym. I'm coming in as a freshman. I'm hooping. I'm giving it everything I need to do, to give to the court. Yeah. And I'm playing against the best of the best. And come to find out, the one thing I wasn't doing was taking care of what I needed to take care of in the classroom, which is interesting in this day. I say that. But yeah. I wasn't taking care of what I needed to do in the classroom. Coach calls me into the office and says, hey, Jabari, first half of the season, you've been playing crazy. You've been hooping. Definitely on par to be freshman of the year, those type of accolades, type of thing. But he said, I can't put you on the floor the rest of this season because you're ineligible. So I was hurt. When I tell you I was hurt, I'm calling home to my parents, my mom, my dad, my grandmother at the time. Like me and my grandmother was like this. You know what I mean? So me having to call Granny was like, listen, it hurt my heart. You know, she came to all my games. We would pray before all of my games. It was just like, man, it felt like everything was ripped out from under me. You know what I mean? You love the game. You love something so much. And unfortunately, I had to sit on the sidelines and watch. But I had a choice I had to make at that very moment in time. And that choice was either I can give up and not play and just try to focus on school or whatever it was that I was going to do, or I can get my act right in the classroom, put in this work on the court, and take it out on who I need to take it out on in the next few years. And I chose the latter, man. I said, listen, I'm going to get this right. Coach, he put a lot of trust in me. And literally, that's what I did. I literally got up every morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, put in work, got in the weight room, got stronger, got back with my guys. We hooped all day, all night. I mean, in the summertime. And then we ended up getting back up and doing it every day, repetition, just working on the game, finding out what my true weaknesses were. Like, it wasn't about the things that I knew that I can do. I knew I could go right. You know what I mean? I knew I could spin right. I knew I could do all the things right. But the things that I knew that I lacked, I had to pay attention to that. Okay, my jumper wasn't the best. I wasn't finishing with my left as consistently as I should be doing, you know, and just kind of getting into the intricacies of what it was to help improve my game. But even more importantly, how did I take those same learnings and those same lessons to apply it to my schoolwork? All right, hey, bro, the same work you put in on the court, you got to put that same work in the classroom. We're not having a repeat of what we just went through. And that's exactly what I did. I got with certain people. I got with the tutor. I got around the right people to help me make sure that, hey, Jabari, this is what we're going to do. We're going to spend the time, you know, during this hour to make sure we go over this math homework or this accounting homework or whatever it was. And, you know, I was able to do just that. And so fast forward to my junior and senior year, I ended up becoming, you know, a two-time All-American. Obviously, I was player of the year for the conference, so I had the accolades with it. I know, right? But honestly, I'm not gonna tell you. But this is the part that was interesting for me. Is like, even after getting those awards, do you know the one that I felt the most proud of? It was when they asked me to come up on stage and talk to the incoming class about my journey and how I was able to overcome going from being ineligible to now being on top of the game. And I had to learn that very early in my, you know, at that point, and you in college, you by yourself. You know, you don't have nobody to hold your hand like in high school, or like you in college, you by yourself. And that's what I had to do. Exactly. And that's what it was. I had to make that decision. And so I just got right into it and I figured it out. And I saw what success could look like by me really focusing and putting in the work.
That's real, bro. But it's crazy not knowing your story, and you go back. I'm talking about the choices and shit, right? Like, you feel me, bro? Not knowing that story. I'll tell you mine, bro. Like, bro, I was nasty. AAU, all that shit. Fourth grade, I was a CIO All-Star. Fourth grade playing against the eighth graders. I played 4 years like that. By the time I got to eighth grade, I was averaging about 20-something, 30, killing it, killing them. Got to say, could have went to St. Raymond's, Mount St. Michael. I know you heard of St. Raymond's. So they right up the block from my crib.
Okay.
My crib, but they're all boys school. So once again, choices. I'm sitting there, I'm feeling my oats. I can't see you. I don't want to see you. But it was the best players in the country. And so once again, looking back at it as a 37-year-old man, it's like, yo, damn, if I really wanted it, I would have played against the best because it only would have made me better. Thinking about all the other things, girls, and trying to chill like that. You didn't want it like that. Went there, bro. Went to Scanlon, got crazy nice, broke freshman records, got kicked out, went to EV, bro. Went to Evander. First day in Evander, bro. When I go to Evander Public School, son, I'm sitting there chilling. I'm with all the homies. The coach of the team comes to my class. Second day of school type shit. Like, yo, I heard about you. Like, I heard about you, bro. Like, can you come try out?
So now you feeling yourself.
You already know. So you're like, damn, son. I'm like, so I felt honored. I'm like, cool. He want them JROTC dudes, sergeants and shit. And like, yo, I need you on the team, but you got to do the right thing. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna come fuck with you. Went over there, bro. Bust their ass in tryouts. Bust their ass, bro. Literally, and then put on the Dickie suit after some Timbs. I was like, yo, coach, I appreciate the spot, but like, this ain't for me. Because I got to go to class. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to class. I'm not going to class. I'm outside. I'm focused on ass. Class.
Yeah.
Real, bro.
And you made that decision.
You made the decision, bro. So for you, bro, to make it to that pinnacle, what is the process like that now when you all American, right? You all American. You at the school. I know you got other scouts. Are you talking to NBA scouts? Are you talking about getting a manager? What is the transition to the next level look like for you, bro?
Yeah. It was very interesting and unique for me. Mine was extremely different because I was at the time I had to do it fairly alone, and I'm not trying to. Again, I was comparing myself to all my guys at the time in high school, them going to the next stage, but then here I am back again. It's like, man, all right, now I'm doing this on my own. So I ended up talking to my coach. I talked to my parents at the time, and I had an uncle who was an attorney. And so he was kind of like, hey, here's some things that I would recommend you do. You need to get an agent. You need to get, some representation to be able to speak on your behalf while you are trying to figure things out. And then whether you go to the NBA, whether you go to this or that or whatever. So I was like, okay, cool. So I ended up signing with this one agent at the very beginning. And this was something that I just didn't know. When I signed up for that agent, he wasn't really hustling for me. And I could see that because he was somebody who had several other clients and he was focusing on the big numbers, the big names. And that's totally fine too. And that's okay. So we ended up having to, walk away. I had no hard feelings over here. I just knew what I needed, and it just wasn't. You couldn't provide that for me, and so I ended up going to this camp out in L.A. I mean, it was crazy. Like the guys that were out there, Chris Rogers from Arizona. I mean, it was a ton of guys. I can't even talk about all the names, but we're out there going. All NBA scouts out there. You had literally all the ones from California. All the West Coast scouts. So I'm out there hooping, and people were like, hey, man, like, let's you got some motion going. After an agent approaches me, he was like, hey, do you have representation? I didn't see you had any representation on the list. I said, currently right now, I don't. And he was like, cool, let's talk. We had some conversation. I didn't sign with him, but I signed with somebody else who was still a part of his group. And so I ended up getting with the right people. They walked me through the steps, the process. Here's what you're going to do. I went to all of these different workouts, working out with Milwaukee, working out there in LA, working out here in Chicago. G League was early on at the time. It wasn't, it was the D League at the time, as a matter of fact. So trained, that was like some of their first and early drafts and things of that nature. But I ended up getting my first contract going to play in Luxembourg. But it was a journey. It wasn't, as easy as seamless that everybody thinks like, oh, I'm going to just sign here and then I'm going right over here to the NBA and I'm going to the draft type thing. It's like, no, I need to figure out what the right fit is for me because, yes, although the goal for me was to make it to the NBA, I might have a different route, though, to take for me.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And at the time, there was only a handful of guys that were playing NAIA basketball that were playing at that high level that could compete. I mean, we had guys like Carlos Hurt that was a McDonald's All-American and went to Louisville and transferred in. You had Brandon Bender who did the same thing from Louisville. You had so many other guys that I was playing against in college. And I'm like, all right, there's a couple of, we can actually make this thing happen and do some work. So once I learned that, I figured it out and I signed my first contract and playing in Luxembourg my first year.
That's fire, bro. That's fine. But was there any invitation to combines or anything like that? Like, what were the options on the table before you decided?
Yeah, it wasn't like I wasn't able to go to the NBA combine here at the time. That was very strict and limited to certain caliber of guys, and they just didn't see me at that time being a part of that. I wish I would have gotten that invite because it's usually here in Chicago anyway. But again, my combine was a little different. I ended up having to go up here, and then it ended up opening up doors to having these private workouts with different teams across the state. So it's different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I wasn't able to go to this combine, which is great, and that's what all the bells and whistles and all the lights and cameras and ESPN all showing up. That's all good. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to get a job. You know what I mean? So I got to go over here and go hustle over at this location for me to actually get access to. And so that's what I ended up having to do.
Message. That's fire, bro. That's real, bro. So that's the reason when I asked you, because I want the young ballers to know, right? That it's not a linear path, right? Like, and just because you don't make it to that doesn't mean you can't make it to this. You have to figure it out. I'm glad a lot of first of all, a lot of the young ones are understanding their brand. I love the NIL. I love that they can take money now. So that was a different time versus
we weren't making money on the table as they doing. It was a different type of It was a lot of backdoor conversations you had to have.
Yeah, it was one hand wash, both wash the face conversations.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, everything is done above board, outright to everybody. I mean, that's just that's just the culture of what it is. And we knew that, and I was always going, this is nothing new. This was happening in the 70s. Hey, man, I need you. You playing, you a 6'10" skyscraper that I need on my team. Hey, man, here's this duffel bag. It might be in the locker 22. You go in here and go grab that. And then, or here goes some sneakers, or here goes some shoes, or whatever it is. That was back then. Now you're able to just put that on the table and make it do what it do. So it's different now.
Absolutely. So what's it like with the family, bro? Now you're going to Luxembourg. That's all the way over there to 1,000, 2,000 miles away. You're away from the family. What is that like, bro?
Yeah. So here let me even go back a little bit, just for the young guys to understand. It's like I set a goal for myself. I said I wanted to play professional. That was my goal. And I knew that I was going to go out here and go achieve that. And so by doing that, I signed my first contract. I met my goal. Now I had to reshape my goal and actually say, all right, what am I going to do with it now that I'm here? So my first time getting on that plane, bro, that was the scariest moment of my life, because you're getting on the plane. Think about it. As soon as those wheels took off, I don't have nobody to call me. I don't have nobody to come pick me up. I don't have nobody to just, hey, man, I just need a home cooked meal. You know what I mean? So those are the things you kind of have to leave behind. But once I got over there, I was solo myself, which was great at the time, so I could just focus on basketball. And it was great. I was the only American on my team. There are some teams, once you get overseas, it'll have, 6, 7, 8 Americans on one team. So everybody's fighting for the ball and trying to make it work. And it's tough because you're fighting for a spot and you're fighting for statistics and film so you can make it to that next level.
But hell yeah, your dream, you fighting for your dream, baby. Like
exactly. Every night it was a grind. And so I was able to successfully finish out my year. I had a great season. Put up, there was, I had a couple of games, it was 45 and 20. Had, like literally getting into it and hooping. And that's what allowed for me to just kind of grow and understand the game. It was difficult early on because there were certain things you had to change your game. I'm like, man, hold on, basketball started in the States. What are we talking about over here? You telling me I'm not doing this right? And it was like, well, you're traveling. You need to put the ball down this. So just kind of getting some of the small intricacies of the game that you had to learn. It wasn't as physical. So for me, I'm a physical guy. I love bumping, and banging and, finishing at the rim. So that was for me. And that's how I played.
You my guy, I had to give you one for that.
Man, I knew it was coming. I was like, hey, man, it's all good.
Yeah, you my dog. No, but what's the competition level, right? Because you playing D1, bro. What is the is it still fast-paced like that overseas? What is it like against the boys, right? Like, because the skill gap is tightening, especially overseas players now. So I'm just curious, what is it like over there versus playing us over here?
Yeah, and mind you, this was 2007, 2008, during those years, you know what I mean? Like, that's nearly 20 years ago. But even back then, you could see some of the guys understanding how to play the game. Like, they were picking up, they had a little bit more wiggle to them. I'm like, bro, you don't play like the rest of them. You've been around us a few times. Like, I know who you working out with in the gym. You know what I mean? Like, my man, we in the gym working out every day. Like, I'm seeing his skill set improving and starting to look a little bit more familiar to what we play, how we play, versus I'm like, okay, I see you getting better. So you started to see the game pick up back then, and they were really starting to learn from us. Like, even they would have me and some of the other Americans who were on different teams, they would have us coach the younger and youth team development. So we only know one way to coach. You know what I mean? Like, the skill sets and the learnings that we had. So that was long, you know what I'm saying? At that age, that was able. So now we're starting to see them progress, and you're starting to see them play at that level. And like, I still stay in tune with some of the young guys and some of the young girls who are playing. I'm like, all right, I see you improve. You really stayed on it. Like, you were really passionate about it. And so for real, that gap it's gotten smaller. The skill set has developed a lot more.
Yeah.
The height,
access to internet, height, they're growing, athleticism, all of that, bro.
All of that.
Savvy, everything is marketing. They're catching up, bro.
Straight up. I mean, and I'll say, and when I went up to Belgium to play, there were so many guys that played in the Big Ten that was there, and the ACC. One of the guys, his name was Eric Gray, he played with Chris Paul. He played up there in Belgium. Like, you got to see some guys who could really go, and we just competed, night in, night out. And in my last year, I ended up getting on the flight. I ended up leaving on Christmas Day, going to Morocco. Actually, let me take that back. I was going to play for a team in Spain. And as I got into Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris, at the time we had the Blackberries. You know what I mean? That was when Blackberry was hot. You know what I mean? So I turn on the Blackberry. I get a message from my agent. He was like, "Hey, call me as soon as you get off the plane." So I called him. He said, "Hey, this is on Christmas Day, so I'm leaving my family, my parents there. My mom, she crying, upset, all of that good stuff. Hey man, we don't get to spend time or whatever. So I'm on the plane right back. But I was doing the things that I love, and I get there and he said, "Hey, the team folded. I'm going to send you to Fez, Morocco." I'm like, Fez, Morocco? Where the hell is Fez, Morocco? So I'm thinking, I'm like, right, so I'm heading out there. I'm like, all right, cool. So he was like, "Here's your ticket. Go to this gate. They got you, whatever." So I end up flying there, and I get there, and I'm sitting in the hotel room. I'm just like, bro, I need to figure out where I am. But one of the things I did before I got there, while I was waiting in between my connecting flight from the States to Morocco, I ended up going into this store. I picked up 2 books. It was called, because that was like the last couple of things I saw that had English on it. You know what I'm saying? So it was Purpose Driven Life. And then there was another book that was called 32 Ways to Champion in Business. And that was about Magic Johnson. Of course, being a hooper, I was like, man, Magic, like, that's familiar. I need to grab that. So I grabbed those 2 books and I put them in my bag in the luggage, and I got through there. The thing that a lot of athletes will laugh at this, especially when you're going overseas, you're a hooper, so you need a few pairs of shoes. And so I had a whole case, of like, if I had 6, 7, 8 pairs of shoes. So I'm going through all the check-ins and stuff and going through customs, and they literally said, "Hey, my friend, you need to stop." And I'm like, "Wait, what you talking about?" They was like, "Yeah, you got too many pairs of shoes. Like, are you trying to smuggle these in to sell them to people or whatever?" Like, so they literally stopped. Now, this is something that happens so frequently to a lot of Americans who travel overseas, because we play with so many different pairs of shoes. And so everybody gets stopped. So it's always a funny, like, inside joke of like, man, yeah, that happened to me too. But that was just one of them where it was just like, all right, cool, check my bag, I got 15 pairs of shoes in here, that's cool, and go ahead and let me through. But sometimes I know people that had to pay people to get their stuff back, because they go through, it's like, no, you can't take this through, or you got too many. You can only have two pairs of shoes when you travel to our country. And it's like, whoa. I'm playing basketball. And so once my man, he saw me, he was like, all right, you can go ahead and go. But that was just one of them funny moments, man, getting the Fez Morocco.
That's crazy, bro. I got to ask you now, what was the toughest moment for you going through all of this stuff, bro? And what was the transition? Because we got to get into how you got into business, bro.
Yeah.
That moment, like when you balling, you out there, you scoring 40 on them. We going over here, we getting paid, right? So what was that moment where he's like, yeah, I can't do this no more? What was one of the toughest moments?
Yeah, I was fortunate enough, I didn't, tear anything. My knees were still intact, my limbs, I didn't have a huge injury or anything like that. What it honestly was that I was starting to see that there was other opportunities beyond the game of basketball that I started to gravitate towards. What I was doing while I was in that last year in Morocco was I was reading. I was starting to think about life after the game. What happens if I tear an ACL? What happens if I tear my Achilles? What am I going to do? And what I did was asking that question of like, now what? I was reading that book, and it was so pivotal for me to read not only just Purpose Driven Life, because what that did was it allowed for me to really figure out what was my true purpose in life. I had to ask myself some tough questions. Who was I without basketball? You know what I mean? Like, who am I without this game that's treated me so well, that I love and have built relationships with? Like, I had to get into that, right? But the other book was 32 Ways to Champion in Business by Magic Johnson. And that book right then and there, it helped me understand how to write business plans and how to navigate the business culture and language. And really, it helped me, like I said, to write a business plan. But I ended up taking that and saying, actually, I'm going to flip that on its head. I'm going to write my own personal plan for myself so I can figure out what I want my life to look like and follow these steps along the way. And that's exactly what I did, man. I ended up pulling out that same book and ended up putting it, out there into the world. And that's where I transitioned into life after the game, man.
That's fire, bro. And when did you start transitioning to business? Like, where you at in life at that point?
I was 20. So I spent my 25th birthday on the Mediterranean Sea. So I was 26 years old at that time. 26, 27. Yeah. So I was figuring things out. So I literally mapped it out to the point where I said, all right, what is it that I love to do? I said, I love to be around sports, right? And then from there, I wrote out 3 different schools that I wanted to go to because I knew that they had a great sports business program, sports and entertainment program. From there, I said, all right, here are the places I would love to go. Reason for me was, I was like, well, look, I chose Chicago, San Diego, and Florida because, one, Florida, they had one of the first programs ever. So I was like, if y'all the first, y'all got to be the best at it. You know what I mean? But then there was 2 because in Chicago, one in Chicago and one in San Diego, I loved it. One was Northwestern, the other one was San Diego State at the time. And I really wanted Northwestern, not only one because that's home, but then 2, you have so many different sports teams just like in New York, right? You got New York, you got Yankees, Mets, you got, Giants, Jets, you know what I'm saying? Like
Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox, everybody.
You know what I'm saying? Chicago Bulls, Chicago Sky. Then you got soccer, you got, everything here. So it was just a metropolis of sports here. And I'm like, if I'm working in sports, I need to be around. I need to be surrounded by it so I can navigate and build relationship with it. And that's exactly what I did. So I made that step-by-step, followed the plan to the T, got into the school that I wanted to go to. I went to Northwestern in their program to get my master's degree there and really started to lay the foundation, man, and knock on doors and really get into the details of it, bro. And that's really how I had to, this is where we get into the real of how I had to start to navigate my second half. And it wasn't just about, I wasn't done playing basketball. Yes, I still got up every morning, worked out because I didn't know at the time while I'm still going to school, I didn't know at the time if I would still get another phone call.
Yeah, you don't know if you're going to get that call.
I need to be ready. You know what I mean? And it wasn't like I was done. It was just like, man, I got this opportunity. I want to go seek this. Me and my agent, we talked. He's like, man, he said, listen, I don't necessarily want you to stop playing because, one, I was making him some good money. You know what I mean? Like, as an agent, he was making good money, but he was like, also, I understand because there's gonna come a time in which you got to stop this, and you're gonna have to be done playing the game. And so that's where I said, all right, here are some opportunities. And so these are kind of some of the things that I actually ended up getting into was building those relationships, being around the game. I was in there and hitting up random people that I would just see on Google and say, okay, who's the GM of the Chicago Bulls at the time? Okay, can I figure out where his email address is? Oh, here's the Cubs and here's the Blackhawks. Oh, I can go in. Matter of fact, not only that, but hey, let me call my old athletic director and see if I can get in the system time up with him to understand what he had to do to become the athletic director of that school. Oh, are there people that you'd be willing to introduce me to that I can navigate? And they were all willing. They said, absolutely, Jabari, we want to make sure that you set up. Like, I'm glad that you're actually doing this because nobody does it.
Messi!
You know, nobody
real.
Does it. Nobody does it.
What was the breakthrough, bro? What was the one breakthrough moment for you?
I know.
Like, I got the degrees, I got the accolades, now I got the credentials, I'm building the relationships. What was that one that actually just broke through the door for you?
So I was interning at Northwestern Athletic Department. I had some great people, got Sean Sullivan, Ryan Chenault, and they were the assistant athletic directors under Jim Phillips, who's now the commissioner of the ACC conference right now, right? So he was at Northwest. They were all at Northwestern. I was in the office working with them. And at the time, you just kind of applying to stuff. You randomly, hey, man, I'm going to work for the NBA. I'm going to work for ESPN. And I had all of these groups in Gatorade, and I wanted to work in sport. And so I'm sure, and during that time, I was probably randomly applying to whatever I could find. And I would probably apply to this on ESPN. And so I'm in the office, and I had to, I got this call, and they said, hey, we see you obviously went to grad school, all that stuff, and you have a sports background. We want to bring you in to interview you for this position. So I leave my interview. I leave my internship. I go over to the interview. I go kill the interview. had great conversations. I'm walking through the office, meeting all these Chicago hosts and Sarah Spain, you know what I'm saying? Like all the people who's on ESPN in Chicago.
Kissing babies.
Yeah, Mike Wilbon, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just in there, like you know how to move. Like once I'm in here, I'm like, don't nobody look like me other than two people. And now it was me and Mike Wilbon at the time. And I'm like, all right, cool, I'm gonna make this work. You know, so I'm like, cool, I'm shaking hands or whatever. So fast forward, I end up getting a position. Mind you, I'm only 3 weeks into my internship at Northwestern. So that was a moment I was like, man, I'm like, how do I do this? Because I had never been in this position where I got to tell y'all literally 2-3 weeks in. I was like, hey, I got this other thing going on over here that's just a little bit better. I got to figure out how to have that conversation.
Yeah, especially when I asked for the favor. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm using relationships. I'm like,
yeah.
So at the time I had a mentor, still is my mentor, Vaughn Bryant. I told him, I was like, hey, man, how do I have to navigate this conversation? He was a former athlete, played ball at Colorado. But he was like, listen, go in there and just tell him the truth and see what happens. I go in there, had a conversation. I said, hey, man, unfortunately, I'm going to have to end my internship here. I know it was very short. We've done some great things here, and I'm excited for it. But I got another opportunity that I have to go take. And they were just like, okay, you know, appreciate you coming in. I was like, and they just like, hey, Jabari, just asking, like, what's the opportunity? I said, yeah, I'm going to work for ESPN Chicago. He was like, Jabari, I'm so glad you did this. Like, absolutely, bro. We wouldn't even have allowed you to say no to that position to come and stay here. He was like, go be incredible, go be great. Just don't forget us when you make it big type thing, you know. And it was powerful early on because that was a transition of just like, man, things are going. This snowball that I had, there was a small little pebble, was starting to roll, and now I got a little boulder. You know, I got some traction going. It's really happening. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now things started going, and so I spent 2.5 years over at ESPN working on everything: Bulls, Blackhawks, Bears, Cubs, Sox. I mean, literally your favorite Chicago team or athlete, I was a part of it. You know, the Derrick Rose era. You know, I was there in the trenches with them playing against Boston and going at it, him and Rondo going back and forth. I got to see him and LeBron up close, you know what I mean? Like going at it back when the Blackhawks were winning Stanley Cup after Stanley Cup. So it was just an era of just sports. And I'm like, this is the perfect time for me. And so I spent those 2.5 years there. And shortly after that, I ended up going, I got a call from Nike to go over and go work with them, which was a very random opportunity that I'll definitely get into that.
Your cold email on a Wednesday that you don't that you never
Man, you know what is crazy about it though is the Nike piece. Here's what happened. I was still working out. I was still getting a couple of calls. They were like, hey, we want you to come over here. Like I had the opportunity to go play down in Puerto Rico for a couple of months, and I was gonna be like, man, let me just shoot down here for a quick second, make a quick bag, and then come back. But what I ended up doing was I was just trying to go over here and go get some free shoes, honestly. I ended up going into try and get, I go to the retail store at Nike Chicago. I was like, man, I'm just coming in for a quick 2-hour gig or whatever I can just grab just because I really wanted some free shoes. And they ended up looking at my resume and he was like, hey, Ashley, can you come up to the office? He was like, yeah, we see you got a marketing background. Are you interested in doing this, that, and the third and becoming our in-store marketing lead? And I was like, all right. So they just created a position on the spot. They didn't have this position.
In-store marketing lead. What does that mean, bro? There's a random store, every store, regional stores, local store. What does that mean?
I know, right? I'm like, man, I don't see this on the website. I can't apply to this. So it was like, we just need someone. We have so much activity coming in through the store. We want to focus on selling the product. They need somebody to basically be the liaison between their central territory office at the time and each one of the categories that they had, whether it was running, soccer, NFL, football, basketball, to be able to take that information and make it work in store. And I understood that language. And so I was like, all right, let's make this work. So I called my mentor. I was like, hey, I told him, I said, hey, man, I'm about to leave ESPN. He said, man, what are you doing? Are you crazy? He was like, man, you at ESPN, you're grinding. I was like, man, I got an opportunity to go to Nike and do this. He was like, oh, okay. That makes sense. So I ended up going over to Nike. And I was there at Nike from that point, literally being in store to several positions, beyond and becoming a director over there, an executive there at Nike. I spent 10 and a half years over there.
10.5 joints, bro. What's one of the best lessons? What are one of the best moments you had at Nike? Or go through all of them, bro. If you want, what's the best
Yeah.
moment you had at ESPN? What was the best moment you had at Nike, bro? Like just what the fuck is the first moment at Nike? They send you to
I know.
Reinvention, Oregon. Did they send you to the
Yeah,
headquarters? Like, what is that?
yeah. There's so many of them, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So when I was at ESPN, I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. The Bulls and the Blackhawks, those are the two back to back. I mean, the Blackhawks, they were killing it. And if you ain't ever been, it's like New York. People crazy over the Blackhawks, people crazy over the Bulls. So the streets packed, lined up. We excited. I mean, they like cars on fire because they done won like craziest fans in the world. I ain't gonna lie to you. So, but that was just being a part of that era. It was just such a meaningful era. They set the tone not only just in pro basketball and hockey and baseball, but even the high school game was on fire. Like you started seeing some up and coming dogs, playing the game. You had Anissa Morrow, who's now playing with Connecticut in the WNBA. You saw her coming up with Simeon. You just had dogs on both ends. You know what I mean? And so that was very special just to be a part of that era here in Chicago. And then once I finally transitioned over to Nike, being from here, this is the crib. Chicago is a crib for us. You know what I mean? And so having the opportunity to join Jordan Brand and to be on an incredible team from the ground up and being with so many special people, that was, you know what I mean? Like that was just, it was just one of those. It's like, all right, you made it. You know what I mean?
From Chicago, you shitting me?
You know what I mean? Like you can't write a better story. And for me, it's like, man, everything worked out well. It was perfect. This is what I dreamed of. These were the names that I put on my list and my plan when I was writing out my purpose and following my own plan. Like these were the companies that I said that I was going to do. These are the things that I was basically manifesting and seeing it all come to fruition during that time. And so for me, I was like, man, this is what I need to do. And so while I was in there, I mean, I got to meet some of the greatest people and not just like the MJs of the world or the Derek Jeters. Yeah, I got to meet them people, which is always great. But more importantly, Larry Miller, Sarah Mensah, H. White, like these are the people who were truly rooted in growing Jordan Brand. I didn't see any executives that looked like us. You know what I'm saying? Like that's who's sitting at the top. And I'm like, man, this is beautiful. I'm working with this company and, I got to work with some great people, some great moments. I worked with, partnering with Jordan Brand in public school for their launch and collaboration. I worked with Kith. I worked with the New York All-Star. We had LA All-Star. We did a secret concert with Travis Scott and Wiz Khalifa and Lizzo and so many other people. Like I've worked on so many brands and some of my favorites, even working with Jordan Brand, not only just All-Star there, but we did the Jordan Brand and University of Michigan football partnership. So the first time that the Jumpman, which is the basketball logo, was on a football uniform and baseball uniform. You know what I'm saying? So I got to be on the ground there at University of Michigan. I spent a ton of time in Ann Arbor, shaking hands with Harbaugh, bringing DJ Khaled out there. So working with all the people, which was great. And from there, I was able to transition. Obviously at that time I moved out to Beaverton, Oregon. And at the time I was like, you know what, I got to get back. My daughter's being born. I got responsibilities I want to be closer to. And so having a young one, that started to influence me of like who I truly am and who I'm rooted in. And that truly is family. I got to see it at an early age. I said, I need to make sure that I'm here, to give love to my little one at the time. And so I ended up moving back. But the beauty about me moving back, I ended up being able to oversee and run Nike basketball here in Chicago. That's truly real. You know what I'm saying?
Oversee Nike basketball in the hometown. You should be.
And at the time we were connected with Canada. So you had a whole country in Canada, from Minnesota down to Texas, from at the time Iowa over to Cleveland. So I got to work with the LeBrons. I got to work with Cavs. I got to work with, so many different athletes in the Midwest. And my favorite moment, honestly, for me, and this was a big moment for myself, is that was 2020 NBA All-Star. Because, well, And
That was right before COVID, though, because COVID didn't hit the March and All-Stars February.
Exactly. All-Stars February. So we end up hosting All-Star. We're leading it as a team. We did some things on the south side of the city, and I focused mainly on the west side because, for me, the west side of the city, a lot of these kids that grow up in the hood and impoverished areas, and they're looking right at the United Center, right? But they ain't going to be able to get in. It's nothing but suits who get into the All-Star game. So I said, listen, I'm going to change this up because I want to make sure they can experience this moment where you have the best of the best athletes in the world and entertainers in the world. I want to make sure they get access to that. So what I did was I said, instead of them going to the NBA All-Star, I'm going to bring NBA All-Star to them. And so in doing so, I wanted to make sure I left something that was special for them. And so at the time, I partnered with Virgil Abloh, and we ended up doing a takeover of the Boys and Girls Club on the west side of Chicago, gutted it all out. He designed it. We had murals partnering with other local Chicago artists. And then we brought LeBron, Anthony Davis. We brought Don C. came through. We had Virgil, of course. I had, Chris Middleton, like all of these NBA stars who came over. The mayor came from Chicago at the time, came over. Like we just had everybody, and it was just such a joyous moment. I'll never forget. And kind of going back early, when I made that transition into Chicago, there was a guy, his name was Rami Jabaji. Rami ended up, he said, hey man, what's your why? Like, why do you do this? And I was like, all right, what's my why? He was like, no, I don't want you to answer right now. He said, just send me an email later on today. So I actually sat there thinking about it. It's some reason it just stuck with me. And I was like, here's my why. It was one of those. It was just a quick question you just threw out there.
Something telling you.
Yeah, something telling me I need to respond to this. And so I actually ended up asking him, or I ended up responding back to him, and I sent him this note. Fast forward, we're sitting there in front of all of leadership. The current CEO of Nike, he came. His name is Elliot Hill. He came, show love. But he ended up telling, he was like, Jabari, him and the team, they did a great job. And one of the things that I'm so proud of Jabari about was the simple fact that when he first came to Chicago, he said the thing that he wanted to do was empower the youth, and he wanted to make sure that he could use basketball as a tool to empower them and to grow the game of basketball. And at that point, he said that right in front of them. I was just like, he was like, that is what he wrote to me in his why 3 or 4 years ago prior to that moment. And I was just shocked because he still remembered that. You know what I mean? It was just a special moment. I'm just like, man, this ain't got shit to do with none of this. This is all about my why, just thinking about, because you're moving so fast and you don't really pay attention to it. But it's like, oh, yeah, you're doing exactly what you said that you were going to do. And people are seeing the benefits of what you did. And it was just such a beautiful moment because we got to see the benefits of the kids. I mean, they went crazy. LeBron came out. They jumped all on him. AD came out. They jumped all on him, and they were loving it. And that was just so special. I'll say this for another time. We actually had to kidnap LeBron in order to get him over there, but that's a whole nother conversation we'll table that for. But, it was just one of those, it was just special. And so that was probably my most memorable moment being in Chicago at the time, being in Nike.
So all right. So I'm gonna ask everybody this, and I feel like it's the perfect time. That might have been it, but what's the mama I made it moment? What's the one moment that you look back, whether it be from podcasting, whether it be from Nike, Jordan, anything? What's the one moment you like? I did it, bro. I did it.
Yeah. Realizing the moment that I did it was realizing that it was time for me to transition from Nike. That was it. I would never forget.
Transition from Nike, bro. Like, nigga, I'm staying there for.
You want to stay there forever, right?
Oh, you know how it go.
I got a text from one of my guys, great friend of mine, always empowers me, older man. Solid. He texted me. He said, "You've done enough." And at the time, and I was in the middle of NBA All-Star 2020. And he texted me that, and I'm just like, man, what are you talking? Like, I'm in the middle of stuff. I'm flooded with texts. People trying to get into all the parties. They're trying to get into all the events. People want free shoes. They want all of this. I'm just like, bro, and I saw that text, and he was like, man, you've done enough. Mind you, I hadn't seen him for some time. So fast forward, COVID hits. So I'm still there. We all sitting at home. So we all big chilling, and handling our families and our situation. And he sent the same text message fast forward in 2022, 2023. And so at the time, there was a lot going on. Had to make that separation from Nike. And so it was like, okay, Now let's figure this thing out. And I sat down with my parents. I talked to my mom. I'm like, it's the time for me to go on ahead and challenge myself even more and be able to help and follow my purpose by helping other athletes such as myself figure out and transition into life. And by doing that, I did that by going through the podcast and having that conversation. So that was really that moment of like someone literally telling me like, you've done enough. It's time to move forward. Let's get going. And so the opportunity for me was like, all right, let's make this magic happen, man.
Ain't a blessing, it's a lesson, bro.
Yes, sir.
Ain't a blessing, it's a lesson. First of all, I wanted to bring it back, but I didn't want to stop you in the story because a lot of people in our community, bro, you know where we come from. We're from the mud, bro. We're from the trenches. A lot of us don't know what the purpose is. We have the talent. It's never the talent. It's the circumstance, it's the process, it's the this, it's the that, it's all these, all these other circumstances outside of what we can control, bro. But so it's like, how do you find your purpose, right? So for me, like, I just felt like it's similar to your story. For me, I found out my purpose is like, yo, look, I got to be able to tell the stories of the people that like me, bro, because guess what? I used to be in the industry. I used to close $1 million deals, but guess what? I'm not on Business Insider. I'm not on Forbes. I'm not on the spot. I'm not even getting the LinkedIn tags. How do people know what I do and the impact I make? How do they know what I'm going through, right? And then more importantly than that, why can't I be the person I am to get this accomplished? If I'm selling $1.6 million in deals in 6 months, why does it matter that I have a Yankee hat on? If the customer loves me, why don't you love me?
Yeah.
And then it breaks down the whole system of what we've been in corporate America and all that. I stopped chasing titles, stopped all that. But I wanted to know who the fuck are these people at the top?
Yep.
How to get there? If I'm going through this, you had to do some other shit. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to tell the stories, especially the people that look like us. So that was my purpose, bro. I don't give a fuck. Business owner, athlete, celebrity. We've had Greg Oden on here, bro. We've had mad people like never imagined, bro. I'm sitting in the couch in the Bronx, bro. You know how we do.
Exactly. You make it work.
And we make it work. So, like, for you to understand your path, like, how, like, what was the one where you knew that was your purpose? You read the book, you did this, but like to stand on it.
For me, it really was going back into. I had to visualize a lot of things, and I was seeing things a lot clearer the higher I rose, right?
Gotcha.
And especially in corporate America, right? You start seeing things a lot clearer of like, oh, that's interesting. This person just leapfrogged out of nowhere and took this position from this person. Okay, I know for a fact that was supposed to be my man, that was supposed to be my homegirl.
He was in line, but you skipped the line.
He was in line, but all of a sudden you done skipped the line. And as you were doing, and you're looking at people, you looking at the top, I'm like, man, y'all making those types of decisions? Oh, that's interesting. And for me, kind of going back to, Jabari and Julian Duncan and so many other people who I was seeing, I was even seeing some of them being skipped over. And these are people who I looked up to and seeing, and I'm just like, man, like it took JD having to leave to go higher. And I was like, well, I thought that this was a family, but it's only a family for certain people.
Message.
Our family is a little different. We have to surround ourselves. And unfortunately, and this is just, it's reality, some of us, even within corporate America, we still kind of have that crabs in the barrel mentality. And that's not the right way that we all need to think about it. We have to figure out a way in order to say, hey, bro, hey, Jay, I see you coming up. And this is what I used to do. All the Eakins, we used to get together every time they come to Chicago. I mean, at the time in Portland, we get together. Hey, Jabari, what's it really like over here? All right, cool. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. Here's what you gotta work at. Here's how you show and prove your worth. Oh, here are the people you need to connect with. Here are the snakes within the space. Here are the people that you can't trust. Here are the people that you want to still get close to, but still keep your head on a swivel because you got to know how they move and you got to know how they shake. And so you started to really understand these internal struggles, these internal beefs, people that look like us that will cut people off at the legs, those types of things in order to save themselves. And that's what you would really start to see. But once you finally started to learn how to identify those people and those types of people and archetypes, that's how you really started to manage and maneuver and really change the game. And so for me, I said, this is how I want to shape myself. I'm very prideful in making sure that I show up for my people and making sure we all win. I'm a part of every brand deck, sponsorship deck, anything right now. Beginning of this year, there's always the page in there that says, listen, I'm collaboration over competition. And I stand on that. Just like you and I, bro, I saw you doing this. I'm like, man, we kind of in the same vein. We helping other people. Yeah, we got different ways that we having a conversation. I'm like, bro, that's my brother. I want to help him. I want to make sure that he wins. Bro, there is so much money out here. There are so many resources out here that it don't make sense for you to do it in isolation. It don't make sense for me to do it in isolation. So it's up to us to be able to say, hey, Jay, hey, man, I love what you're doing. Shoot you a quick DM. I love to just connect with you. Let's share some, opportunities. Bet. Let's jump on it. Let's jump on. You know what I'm saying? Let's jump on together. Let's have a conversation. Let me pour into you and your people the same way that I would love for you to pour into mine. You know what I'm saying? And like, hey, man, let's grow this thing together.
And that's exactly what happened, y'all. For the listeners, that's exactly what happened.
That's exactly what happened.
Ain't no flow. Like, let me try to see Pet you on Tuesday, nigga. You good tomorrow? Like, I'm good. Like at 12 type shit. We had a conversation. We were talking for like about an hour. Good conversation.
Yes.
Bullshit. Like, yo, bro, I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to figure, this one I'm trying to figure out. Yo, I know this person, right? Yo,
let me put you in tune with them. Yep.
Boom, bing, bing. Bing, 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 and then it just happens like that, and we stay connected. We ain't got to talk every day. We got to talk once a week. I see something from you, nigga. I like it. I'm supporting.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm doing it.
And that's the other thing. Let's stay on that for a second, because especially when you're after I transitioned into entrepreneurship and started my own brands and doing things with the second half, it's funny how your closest people who you've been in the trenches with every day, not everybody is going to support. And I'm not talking bad about them, but it's just reality. It really is just reality, because guess what? Your people are not going to support, and that's okay. But you know who is going to support? The people who understand how to get through those moments with you. And that's the beauty of it, that you want to make sure that you have, the right people alongside your journey. Hey, I see some of you posts. I don't even listen to it sometimes, just because I just don't have the time. It ain't even, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, that's my brother. I'm going to like it. I'm going, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's
broken visibility. It don't cost nothing.
It don't cost nothing.
It don't cost a thing.
Just one thing.
I see my brother moving. I might not have heard the message, but I know he's working, and I know he's working for. That's it. I stamp it. Same thing, vice versa, bro. But the problem is with us in the community, we hold back to the people that we love. Sometimes it's not going to be the people that we love that's going to get us. It's going to be the strangers. I was talking to my man. He opened up a store. We did shows in his store, and he's telling me about the overcomes what he had to do in his store. And it's crazy, bro. People that we love.
Yep.
Rocking with us, people that we love, bro. I know people. Yep. First of all, I see people I know since I was 20 years. You putting up the shade room, you putting up this, you putting shout love to the shade room. Those are my people. But like anybody, you on the gossip shit and all that, and I'm sitting there trying to put out real game, trying to make sure we have we have something to stand on. First of all, you see me, I'm building relationships, bro. I wasn't at Nike brand Jordan, bro. I had to get. I'm still in the mud, but we talking to the same people, so I want to show people it doesn't matter how bad do you want it. How bad do you want to get in that door? And that's what I want to show people. But a lot of people don't have the mindset. They're not going to support you. They're going to see you. I just put up a clip today of 112, Michael Keith. Listen to that clip when you get a chance, bro. Yeah. He said, you know what? I never had to explain the yes, but I found myself explaining the fucking no. Why do I got to explain the no? He said, I had people that was in the group, left out, did this, did that. You didn't believe that much. You bounced off. But when I come to the family barbecue, you acting all strange to me because I got the Rolex on and I put in the fucking work. And I'm not trying to put you on because you don't got the mindset. And so you're entitled just because you know me. And we got to break away from that bullshit. I don't give a fuck if you know me. You wasn't in the street. You didn't share nothing. You didn't like it. I don't need you to like it. I start putting niggas on the spot. Yo, I love your shit, Jared. Yo, word. What you saw?
What you see?
What you see? What you like?
Because when I scrolled through, I didn't see anything that you like. So refresh my memory.
I don't know which one you're talking about. I post so much. Which one?
Hey,
I put it on the spot. And if you do, just like it. I know you see. You're confirming that you saw me. You confirming that you saw me, and I'm trying to fucking create generational wealth, and I get impacted. If I get to the place where I need to be, it helps all of us.
It helps all of us,
and I'm bringing it back.
And that's the thing. People are like, man, you know what? I can't jump on. I can't do this. I can't do that. And it's like, no, you can. You can.
It's just they want to be the person.
Exactly. And it's like, listen, you got to understand. It takes time to get to. Hey, what is something? It said 10,000 hours or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It takes work. The same work that we both put in, whether it was boxing or the same work we put in playing basketball. Bro, I didn't get good at basketball just by showing up 2 days a week.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Twice a day.
Some days you fucking getting spanked. Oh shit, I gotta go back and work. How bad do you want it?
Exactly. And it's same thing with podcasting or the sports industry or sports media, any media at that point. It's like there was a time when we first started and we might not have had our chops. We didn't have our rhythm. We didn't know the tonality we wanted to talk. You know what I mean? Like now we figured out our flow. We know how to have a conversation. We know how to be real and make the flow go that actually grabs the attention of our audience. That wasn't you couldn't do that day one.
Absolutely.
That's the beauty of it. We're grinding, we're learning. That's about growth. You learn from your fails, not from your wins.
Come on, bro. You just talk. Bro, I'll tell you a story. I was gonna say it for this joint, but I won't say the groups. But 2 powerhouse R&B groups, bro. These are my peoples. They both been on the show, bro. I'm like, yo, do y'all know each other? He's like, nah, I don't know him. You don't know him? Boom, put them in touch with them. I'm like, y'all live in the same spot. Y'all live like 10 minutes away from each other. How you this is family, bro. Making the email and they about to rock out with each other. So imagine what that feels like. So I tell people, like, I do the podcast. I'll tell you my podcast strategy. It doesn't matter. Like, obviously, us scale is distribution and all that. How do we get to more audience? But at the end of the day, whether I have 200, 2,000, whatever, guess what? I'm building a relationship.
Exactly. They don't understand that side of it. It's like, I'm the person I got on the other side of the screen. There's value in that. There's value there. There's you don't know what.
Hey, this in for 5 years. It don't matter.
But guess what? When we cash it in, we're gonna cash it in, and it's all love.
We gotta build to even be able to cash out.
Yes. Here, I'll give you one thing, and this was something I was just reading. So, just being mindful of that book, 32 Ways to Champion a Business. I used to walk my dog at my last condo, walk my dog around. I used to walk past his house every day. And this guy I used to see all the time. And I'm like, man, you look familiar. I know we've been in a room together, but you look very familiar. He was like, man, yeah, I've seen you too. I know I think you're the Nike guy I used to see. I was like, okay, yeah. So we shooting stuff. I was like, oh man, okay, cool. And I was like, man, I feel like let's sit down and, chop it up. So I come around another time, we chopping it up or whatever. And I just mentioned him. I was like, hey, there's this book I read. He smiled. And he was like, this book I read by Magic Johnson. He was like, oh, interesting. He was like, did you read chapter 23? I said, yeah, I remember chapter 23. It was about this guy who basically paid $5,000 to have a meeting with Magic Johnson. That guy, his name was Charles Johnson in the book. And I'm like, maybe it might have been Matt Johnson, a relationship, but no relationship, just Johnson's, all of that. So fast forward, I'm sitting here talking to him. I was like, wait, you said you're Johnson? I put two and I said, oh, you're Charles Johnson. Charles was the guy who gave him, this guy walked past his house every day for 5 years straight. And we actually ended up connecting, building a relationship, and he's become a mentor of mine to make sure that I'm on point. But that's the same guy. He's now made billions of dollars with Sodexo and Magic Johnson and what they're doing. And they've been collaborating ever since the early days of bringing all of his products and everything from the Starbucks and the movie theaters. And he's been a business partner of his for years.
That's great.
You know what I mean? And so just having stories like that. And one of the things that he said most recently, he was like, man, listen, we got to start doing this.
That's a fact.
We got to start collaborating. We have to. You can't win if you aren't building with somebody else. You can't keep shutting the door out and saying, no, it's all mine. It's all mine. No, bro, it's all ours. We got to get out here and go get it.
Why not? Yo, bro, at the Monday Night Mentorship yesterday, after Jabari left, bro, there's a brother. I'm sitting with my wifey. There's a brother at the bar sitting by himself, but he looks like a professional. We got the whole side over here. You know what I'm saying? I just walked up to bro. Yo,
yep.
We over here, right? We all in business, marketing, advertising. You seem like a brother who's maybe in that space, maybe not. If you're interested to talk to some lot of good people here. You know what I mean? Boom, shook his hand, to toast with him, all that, bro. End up getting his math. Like, yo, son, let's build. Yep. He happened to be a VP of an investment firm or something. You never know.
You never know. You can't, if you don't open up your mouth and actually have the gun to go out here and go say, hey, I just want to meet this person. You seem like an interesting character, man. You can't be, what they going to say? No? Cool, bro. I've been told no before.
I'm in the same spot I'm in right now.
Exactly.
I'm in the same spot, bro. Yo, matter of fact, I'll give you one. So the person who ran Magic Johnson's company, bro, my brother Doug Melville. He's actually he was on the show. You know how I got with him, bro? And it's crazy. I got 2 people that reached out. His man, the one who worked with him directly, my man's lived right downstairs from me. We used to go to the bar and chill. He's like, yo, son, you need to talk to this dude, Doug Melville. You need to talk to Doug Melville. And I'm like, yo, let's make it happen. Let's figure it out. Shyman and Schuster hit me up. Shyman and Schuster was like, yo, Doug Melville has a new book coming out. We want to put him on the show. I'm like, holy shit, the name, that's the one that Marcus was telling me about. Let's get him on the show, bro. He ran Magic Johnson's company for 4 years, bro. His grandfather was the Tuskegee Airmen. Crazy story. We go out there, that's our brother, bro. So like, you never effing know. The way I met Julian, bro, I didn't know Jabari. I didn't know Jabari. I said on LinkedIn, I joined the Monday Night Mentorship. You know what I did? But I was posting so much on LinkedIn, and I was like, let me go there, let me bring my visibility. They had a meeting out there in New York. I said, yo, cuzzo, we got to go there. I don't know what it is. Fuck it, we go. We got to go. We pull up, bro. I told the stars to be real quick. Pulled up, bro. We parked the car. We found a parking right in front of the venue. We get out the car, bro. That never happens in Manhattan, nigga. That never happens.
I'm about to say.
Never happens. Right in front of the venue, never happens, bro. We get out the car. As soon as we get out the car, JD and Jabari get out the car. Soon as we get out the car, they all I hear is, yo, Jared, what up, baby? First of all, y'all know me? Y'all know me, bro? Like, and the way they interacted with me, bro.
It's all love.
Bro, it was love. Kofi from DoorDash was there. Everybody, bro, we just started building. But the fact that I knew that y'all seen me, you don't know me from a hole in the wall, but you know I got something. You know I got something enough for you to be like, yo, come through. Y'all rock with me. You speak on the mic, whatever you want to do, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got access. And to come on the show 2-3 years later, see the grind. And had him yesterday. He was like, yo, son, I'm proud of you, bro. He's like, I'm trying to be, he said, I see you doing. I said, I'm trying to be Clarence Avon. He said, you right there.
Exactly. That's what we out here doing. And those are 2, I mean, when I tell you Jabari and JD, those are my brothers. And what they're doing Monday Night Mentoring, if you're in the marketing, if you're in it just trying to figure out what it is, you got to be able to tap into that. And it's something just special about it. They're going to give you real game. They're going to lay it out for you.
And they're not going to be fluffy.
Yeah.
A lot of people, you know what I'm saying? They're going to talk to you first. Real conversations. How we're having right now. And it's refreshing to hear somebody be like, yo, look, this is what happened. Jabari came on the show, he gave me a crazy, he talked about running Westbrook, everything, and the things he had to go through. So for us, we have to understand what they go through and be like, yo, and take the lessons from that, because there's no playbook for what they're doing at the top. There's no
playbook for none of this.
None of this. None of this, especially what we're doing with content, right?
Yeah.
The content, bro. So what is the biggest lesson you learned from podcasting, bro? I'm curious, and we'll talk about it. I want to go into that strategy and shit like that. It's
media is interesting because it's like, all right, you think that, okay, I just create something and I just put it out there and then that's what it is. No, there's tons of strategy behind it. And I think the one lesson I had to realize is like you have to be hungry enough to just do it and just by any means and just put it out there. But also you need to figure out ways to strategize and make sure you find ways to get it out there. Like and growing this thing, it's like, eyeballs are eyeballs. And it's even almost like not everybody even gets access to you because of the algorithm, because of that way that the algorithm, you might sit there and like a bunch of BS or whatever here. You know what I'm saying? So you won't even be, even though we friends, we've been cool for years, our algorithm is different because you like, I don't know.
Cooking shit and you watch.
Cooking and
whatever, it don't matter.
Exactly. So now it's just about, how do we get visibility and find ways to strategize and put our media in front of other audiences and making sure that may grab 1 or 2 people here and there. And so those are the things, but it's just about volume. It's about getting shots up. It's about putting in the work and learning along the way and getting a little grimy, and getting a little grungy with it a little bit too. You got to find ways. Hey, send it to people. Like I sat out there, I just started a new brand called Hoops Club. And I literally just texted out to all my people. I was like, hey, man, I'm starting this up. I created a video. I literally went through my entire Rolodex and sent it all to all my homies and friends. And I was like, hey, man, I love your support. Here's what I'm doing. I'm growing it city by city, campus by campus, from the court to the world. And that's all it was. So I sent that out, the text and the video. We'll love your support. Now I got so many people was like, man, when's the next drop coming? When is the next drop coming? Like, I'm like, man, this is great. Like, this is what I want to do. And it's just about, you gotta figure it out. You gotta do things in ways that you haven't done before. The same way that I took, as soon as you sent that information out, I got the link. I had to text it out to all my people. I was like, hey man, I'm jumping on this live right now. Tune in. We're gonna talk a little bit about the second half. We're gonna talk a bit about me, but this is my brother. Like, that's what you have to do, because you want to make sure that you get visibility and you get the eyeballs to it. And so that was very early, as well as even just as recently, I was on a call with some people, and those are kind of the strategies that we starting to pick up on now.
Yeah, bro, visibility is everything, but I also think owning our audience is everything. So one thing with us in podcasting, right, we're relying on Instagram, YouTube, all these other platforms. Even if you go to the Breakfast Club and there, you know what I mean, Joe and Jada,
Yep.
what they're doing, experiment in the Netflix space, right? That's
Yeah.
their own audience. We
Yep.
have to be so confident in our content and be able to risk it and bet on ourselves that we own the content. We have to own the audience. We have to own the first party data. That is the real value, right?
Yep.
And what I've also learned through this podcast journey, bro, is that every relationship sprouts differently.
Yep.
Every relationship sprouts differently. Like so for me, bro, like I don't even, I'm gonna keep it all the way beansky with you. I haven't done it, bro. I have not done that. Since January to now, we've grown 1,000% on audio and all that. We was charting on business category, all that, bro. 200 in the world from the couch. You feel me? I don't share out anything, bro, because you know what? Me personally, it's also kind of like a pride thing, but it's like, yo, look, you see what I'm doing. But also, I can't also have to get that out of my mind and be like, yo, at the end of the day, I can't assume.
I was the same way. Yep, I was the same way. I'm like, man, I had to get my ego out the way.
Yeah, so it's like part that, part this, and then it's like, yo, if you don't support me, then that changes our relationship. So it's like, you know what I mean? Do I want to see? If you don't want to know my pops always told me, if you don't want to know the answer, don't ask the question. If I love you, nigga, if you ain't gonna support that, I don't even want to ask you. You're gonna support off the rip, support off the dribble, because you see what we doing, bro. Like at the end of the day, we the only ones that been in the Marley house. We the only ones. Matthew knows been on my platform twice, bro, twice.
Yeah.
Twice, coming on a third time. I'm about to do a walkthrough to the National Stadium. We about to do some shit. You feel me, bro? From the couch.
Like you said, the relationship is huge, and hey, you don't know when it's gonna sprout. You don't know when it's gonna happen, but because you planted that seed early on,
that's it. But it's you know what it is. The real strategy is that the opportunity. Every business I had from my business, my agency, bro, has come from the podcast.
Yep.
All of my business. So once again, it's a lead magnet. It's a lead magnet. It's a resource. I'm getting a Harvard Business Review every single day. I can take the transcripts from every episode. I could come up with a book, a more than entitled book from your favorite people, and what are the common themes from 286 people. Like we could do so many different ways to generate the revenue. So it's us thinking outside the box. Yes, getting the visibility, but also every view isn't a good view. Every view isn't a good view, just like all money isn't good money, right? So like, how do you might get 1 million views on some viral content that make you look stupid, and then you're not able to monetize after that. I know mad content creators that got big off of some stupid shit that they didn't do, has nothing to do with their business, and now they can't monetize because niggas is like, do the stupid shit again.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. It's like you see what social media and these tools are doing, where it's funny, and I'm sure you probably have tried this out and you've seen it. It's like, the dumb, ignorant stuff, you put that out there, you get incredible views.
Crazy.
And it's like, I'm not trying to be looked at like, you know what I'm saying, dancing and tap dancing in front of the camera. That's not me. What I'm trying to do is put real value. But because I'm putting in real value in, we're going to shrink that down. We can't make y'all look too good. We're putting in too much positive influence and the things that people need to hear. And so unfortunately, that's not getting all the views. But there's ways that we can actually get in front of them. We can do those live events. We can do the conversations. We can go out to
accountability. We gotta start saying that. Fuck that. We gotta start saying that. Why aren't y'all putting the positive up? I've had these conversations. I'm not gonna say the brands. I've had these. Why aren't we?
Yeah.
Because if you could put that up, there's a way you could sprinkle this in there too.
Absolutely.
There's
no balance it out.
There's no excuse for us. So are we here for the culture or are we here to monetize?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a way to balance and do both. But who's really trying to have the conversation, bro?
But that goes back to having your own ownership and building within to then say, all right, maybe it's not for us to keep going to said brands, big conglomerate or whatever. Maybe it's actually time for us to go ahead and link up and create our own. Maybe it's time to pull in the ones that we know that's putting out that positive information, because we all know whether it's the kids, we don't want them looking at all the crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? We got to monitor and put all these different things on the iPad and things of that nature. It's like, bro, I'd rather you listen to my man Jared because he giving y'all some real information.
Come on,
you know what I'm saying? I'd rather y'all listen to Jabari and Julian because they got Monday Night Mentor, and I want y'all to understand what's going on with that and how to help understand what marketing is, or hearing it from the right people, or we're gonna jump on the second half because I'm an athlete. I had D Brown on here. I had this person. I had Arnie Duncan on there. John Rogers. He built the first Black millionaire investment fund, an area investment in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's talk about how he did that.
Fire. But you know what? They're not going to hear that, and we have to take it a step further as content creators and podcasters. We can't just talk about it. We have to show them.
That's real.
That's what the evolution. That's why
real.
I just told you I'm going to do a walkthrough with an owner of the Nationals, bro. Because it's one thing for you to tell me you're the youngest of 9 from Compton. It's another thing for you to actually take me to the stadium and show me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like, so now that's the evolution of the space. Now I've got this relationship. Now it's like, show me. We saw the story. Yep. Okay, cool. Where's the first song where they did this song at? Where was the first spot where you did this? Where did you write this joint at? Show me. And that's what we have to do. We have to kind of expedite it because they're not going to go. We can't expect them to go through the rabbit hole and actually listen to the content. So we got to put it in front of your face, and it also is how we're delivering the message. You know what I'm saying? So we have to look at all that, and we have to really like optimize everything, bro. So I'm looking at all of that. Like, yes, the YNs are looking, but it's no coincidence that all of my biggest shit is fucking really well done. Putting the time in, putting it this. Like, if I put it through Opus, it'll get great views, it'll get the content, but like, the shit that's going 100,000, 300,000, 400 million views is the shit that got the time, the B-roll, the music is right, all that shit, and it's a lot. But once again, so I want to take brands and everybody who's supporting. We can't do that shit without y'all support.
Exactly.
The brands in this climate right now, do you know how difficult it is to get sponsorship money and still be ourselves? We want the real content, right? But then if we take these brand sponsorship deals, we're going to have to give something of ourselves away to get this stuff, to get the content to you. And it shouldn't happen if we're fucking giving our money and our support to the person that we like. It shouldn't have to be the, you know what I'm saying, the this and that. We're competing with everybody.
Yep.
Unfortunately. And this shit is a relationship game. So where you and I are going to win is by creating experiences that nobody else can create but us.
Yep.
That's why Cam's winning. That's why Joe and Jada's winning. That's why Buttons is winning, because they're creating experiences that are unique to them and leveraging their relationships. We have to do the same.
We got to do the same thing.
What does that look like? So now, what if we do a collaboration episode? I'm like, yo, Greg, me and Jabari are coming through.
Yep.
It's the second half more than a title joint. Like, what we doing?
Yep. Let's do it. You know what I mean? Like, those are the conversations that have to start having. Like I said, it's collaboration over competition. I'm not in competition with you. I want to see us both win.
Absolutely not.
You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't even invite you.
You know what I'm
saying? They'd be like, what the fuck?
Yep.
No, nigga, I want you to get visibility. I want people to tap in with you because they need to hear your story. Because how many people that are like Jabari that went overseas but didn't read the book, didn't put in the work, didn't know that this opportunity was on the other side? And then they're fucked up, and then they're at this. They're working at this job. They're unhappy. They're miserable. They're not following their purpose because they didn't know what it was.
Yep. And now because of that, I was getting so many of those, man, I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know I had to do this. Don't worry about it. Now I done broke it down for you. So now I got a whole workshop for you. I literally walk you through step by step to make sure you're equipped with everything that you need. You know what I mean? Like, because listen, I had to learn myself. Like I said, I went to Nike on a whole different, people wouldn't have even thought, I'm like, oh, you started at retail? Yeah, technically, yes. Now, when I went in there, I wasn't really going in there for a true marketing job. I was going in there literally to go get some shoes. Like, I just wanted some free shoes. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But I know other people who literally, hey, man, I had to go to B school. I had to touch, I had to talk to this person. That's another journey as well. I know people who were part of this and went to National Black MBA and did all these things in order to get in. I know people who went to HBCUs and went to Hampton and Howard and FAM, and they got access to working here. And these are all different avenues that you can get into these companies. But I just want to make sure that, one, you understand how to take the first step. And a lot of times, really, It's about you understanding who you are as a person and breaking free from all the things that's tying you and holding you back from being great.
Message.
Facts. That's a big message, bro. And that's what it is. So for anybody listening, that's the message we trying to give y'all. Straight up and down. You can be yourself. You got to put in the work, be in those rooms, but put in your 10,000 hours. It does not get here without the 10,000 hours, without the proof of concept, without bumping your head. I've had the computer die on me. I've had all types of shit happen on lives. Guess what? They don't know, bro.
My very first episode I had on my brother, Rick Cornett. I'll never forget. It was a beautiful episode. I set everything up the night before, the camera, the lighting, everything. I'm talking about it's crazy. We turned the first camera on. Man, I kid you not. The sound is impeccable. It only recorded in 5-minute increments. So, and it only did it a total of 3 times. So we sitting here talking. I'm thinking it's running. We on the call for like 45 minutes or whatever. And it's recording like 5-minute increments and then stop. And then start back up again. So I'm looking at the content. I'm like, bro, I can't even do it. But at the time I was like, you know what? I look back on that. I was like, honestly, that was the best episode. The reason I said it is because I had to start.
There it goes.
I had to start.
There it goes, bro. Bro, I had to happen 2 years into the journey. Bro, we got a Ronnie DeVoe interview and Big Daddy Kane interview.
Wow.
That I cannot even put out because the audio and the quality sucks.
It's that bad?
I had to spend an additional $1,500 to get Rohan to look good.
Wow.
Bro, we had to put it through AI. We had to get it edited. We had to do all that shit. A week before Christmas, nigga, it was almost Kwanzaa. I'm trying to tell you, bro. It was I say this shit all the time.
That's hilarious.
We have to rob Peter to pay Paul. We sitting there doing this.
Because you like, man, this is the most incredible. I got to get this out, man. You don't want to waste the relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's like
going to get it done. I can't tell him it don't look good. I can't tell him it's dark. What the fuck does that look like? We was in your house for 4 hours. You mean the content is dark?
Yep. But you don't know until you do it.
And we the ones that turn the light off. It was too much light. Said it was too much light. You feel me? So you go through that. So that's the lesson I just want to say to everybody. Like, so I do. What is one other crazy podcast episode that you had? What is one?
Oh man, that was one of them. So I love this one. I had my brother Quentin Richardson on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? The knuckleheads. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? My brother, Whitney Young, DePaul, played in the league for I don't know how many years. I mean, 3-point champion, all of that stuff, right? I had him on there. We excited. It's early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? He's down in Florida. So I'm like, all right, he on the East Coast. Let me go ahead and set this up. I set it up, everything. And recording the video, everything is solid. What I didn't do was I didn't hit the record button because I wanted the sound to be a whole lot clearer on my mic. And I did press it. And all of a sudden I ended it. I was like, no. Bro, I sat there in the chair just in one of them thinking moments, just sick. You know what I'm saying? I probably stared at the wall for like 45 minutes after. I'm just like, all right, what I'm going to do? So literally, I got to it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way that you have to go. You got to, we got to edit this thing. How you going to make it? All right. Because I didn't have, again, just like you're editing things on your own. You're setting up the camera. You're the talent. You know, you're reaching out to talent. You're setting up. You're sending the emails. You're editing. You're posting. You're all the things. This is all on us. And then I was able to take that and I said, all right, hey, I got to get on Google. Let me figure out how to change some of the sound. Hey, how do I do this? And I was looking at like, maybe I send it to this guy on some, website or whatever. And I was like, maybe I send it to you and maybe you can tweak the sound or whatever. Then all of a sudden I did what I could do. And I was like, no, I'm putting this out. I told the wife, I said, baby, I'm putting this out. She was like, run it. Let's go.
Do it. That's it. And they don't see how many iterate. Bro, we did the joint on December. We didn't relaunch it to 420 in April last year. We dropped it on 420. We did it in December.
Wow. Yeah.
So that many iterations of it. Many iterations of this shit, bro. And I'll give you one of my favorite ones. Oh, shit. I'm trying to think. Yo, we got so many, bro.
Yeah.
I'll give you. Like, I got some dope story. Like, the 112 one is a dope story, but I kind of told that, but I'll give it to you really quick. Like, nigga, I'm sitting there on the West Side Highway. We sitting there going to an event, me and wifey. Cupid comes on the radio. Comes on the radio. I'm like, yo, damn, this was that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those songs like, yo. I'm like, baby, who made the beat? Go and sees who makes the beat. It was Michael Keith, one of the lead singers of the group. I go to his Instagram and I saw us following. I said, oh no, I gotta hit him up. I have to hit him up. Hit him up, bro. He responded within a day, bro. Got him on 3 weeks later. That's the bro. You know what I'm saying? Steve was another good one. Bro, we had him. First of all, Timbaland in France, bro. Timbaland performed the night before on Inkwell Beach. And the next day, we got Steve coming through on Inkwell Beach panel. And you know what we did? We kept it so funky. We didn't even interview him. We said, yo, bring 2 people. Bring 2 mentees up. Bring 2 people. This is not the More Than Entitled show. This is y'all show. I'm just going to be on stage. Shoot your shot. You got Steve here. The morning episode.
That's love.
Anybody have been like, yo, no, I got Steve. Let me sit and make a great show. No, y'all here, bro. We had 100 people there watching just like this.
Like
this, bro. And that was
gotta love the venue.
Come on, bro. Everyone, the fact that we can say that.
Yeah.
You can say, he said, my shit died on y'all too. That's real shit, Mark. That's real shit. That did happen. Marcus was a great one too. So shout out to PY. How we got him is my girl PY was like, y'all know this dope dude who make the horse kicks. We like horse kicks. He make kicks for horses? Bro, saw the shit was like, nah, we got to get bro on the show. And it's incredible. The Luka Doncic. He had the Prince of Dubai reach out and order horse kicks from him. All types of shit.
Yo.
That guy. He's that guy.
But that's crazy.
Stories, then how the hell does it happen? How does it get out?
And exactly, and that's the thing, and that's what I hate about this where we're in. But again, that's up to us. You know what I'm saying? It's like we got to find those real stories to be able to share, so people understand. Hey, man, there's so many opportunities. People think, and I tell this all the time to a lot of mentees are just like, listen, get off your 8-block radius, get off your 2-block radius. You know what I'm saying? Like, go out and go see the world. You know, I never thought that basketball would take me, and I could use that as a tool to take me to Luxembourg or, you know, get on a bullet train and go down to Paris or, you know what I'm saying? Or like literally I'm trying to figure out where Fez, Morocco is and not realizing I'm in the motherland on the northwestern tip of Africa. You know what I'm saying? Like these are places that you don't realize because we aren't taught those things. And I get over there and it's beautiful. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it exposed me to so many different things where you go through the school books and you think that we in chains and, you know, and whips all, you know what I'm saying? It's looking like that. We on a boat type thing. It's like, no, it's beautiful over there. It is.
That's
real. And you see the world from a totally different perspective. And it's like, bro, you got to get over here, man. Get to Dubai. Go to this. Man, see this stuff.
You can't unsee it once you see it, bro. It's a whole different perspective. It's like taking the red, everybody's on the blue.
Yep.
It's different conversations you have with your friends. It's different conversations you have with your family. It's different conversations you have across the board, bro. Yep. And I want to ask you one thing before we get off the road, because you know it's playoff time.
Yeah. I already know.
We be going, but like I'm gonna ask you some real shit, bro. Are you enjoying the process? Real talk. Are you enjoying the process of the podcast? What do you do to make sure you stay in the moment and stay grounded and just enjoy it?
Yeah. No, that's a very real question. You know, for me to really enjoy this is to honestly what helps enthuse me throughout the process is when I get not only just my people, but more so the random people's like, bro, I love what you're doing. Keep jumping on the podcast. I'm tuning in. I'm checking in. Like hearing those small nuggets. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, I never forget. I had a speaking engagement and some mom ran up to me and was like, hey, Jabari, oh, you're the guy who got the podcast and the show with all the athletes. And I was like, oh, man. She's like, yeah, I love it. I'll make my son watch a couple of episodes. I'm like, I really appreciate it. Like, just knowing I'm changing one life, those are the things, like, that's what keeps me going. Now, I will say, there are times, and, you know, I will struggle with, like, bro, like, man, I'm not eating like I should be, man. I should be making more money and this, that, or I should be making more rewarded. I should be, no, my time is to come when it's to come. I just got to keep putting in the hours. I got to keep putting in the work. You know what I'm saying? Because it's empowering, it's in touching. Somebody over here, did they actually, their kids are like, man, I want to do that. I see what Jabari is doing. And I'm being exposed to so many other opportunities beyond just the game of basketball, the game of football, or what little Susie or little Johnny are doing, like they're like, actually, I can do more than that. Oh, you telling me because I love to doodle and draw on a piece of paper, I can go out there and design a jersey or a whole product line like Don C, or I can create some shoes, you know what I'm saying, and do those things. And so those are the things that keep me going and saying, yeah, there's no way for me to stop, because this is something that people need to understand. There's more to the game.
That's a fact, bro.
Message.
Nailed it, though. It's the purpose over the monetization aspect. It's hard not to do it when you put in the work. It's hard not to when you put in the 12, 14 hours and you're working with your kid and you're doing this, you're taking away from yourself. Yeah, I didn't hit the gym today because I got to edit this joint, I got to get it to market tomorrow. I got to do this.
You sacrifice a lot.
You sacrifice so much that people don't see for those moments.
Yep.
For those moments, bro. And guess what? We just got to get out the monetization aspect. Yo, it's going to happen.
It is.
It is happening.
Exactly.
It's going to happen. All that other shit, but that doesn't define success.
Exactly.
What you just said was success. That's the proof of concept, bro. I go outside right now. I got real niggas asking me like, yo, son, how do I put the camera? I got mad stories. Yo, bro, I'll tap into your shit. Yo, that joint you said with Jabari was crazy. Yo, I actually know. My nigga might hit me up, but like, I used to play ball with bro. You never know. It's gonna be a small world.
You know what I'm saying? That's how it happens.
And that's what it's for. So I want to tell you, bro, as your brother, I'm proud of you. Just keep fucking going.
Yes, sir, my brother.
There is no. First of all, there's only one of us, bro. There's nobody doing what you're doing in your lane. There's nobody really out there that's from that space, bro, that had the best of both worlds. You're playing, but also on the executive side. You know who you need to know, bro. Combine both worlds and utilize every single relationship, bro. Utilize it. One thing I'm working on right now that I'm pretty sure you might have the same issue. I don't like to ask for shit. I don't ask for shit. I didn't ask for shit. The world could be crashing. Niggas would be like, oh, great, bro. It's a great day to be great. I'm out here. I don't need nothing. But when I do ask for something, right, it's going to make sense because I'm all about bringing value. I don't want to work with you if you don't want to work with me. If you don't see the opportunity, then cool. Once again, it's back to the Tom Brady in the 7th round. If you don't see it, I'm not going to.
Okay.
It's okay. But guess what? You might be, and you know what I've noticed? A lot of successful people want to see what you do. A lot of successful people want to see what you deem as important. I'm not going to risk the 15, 20 years of my life that I fucking sacrificed to get to where I need to be able to pull a button or make a call and make something happen for you. I got to make sure it's the right one. Because once again, my name is on this. So for everybody listening, you have to keep putting in the work to make sure. I had a group. I'm doing this dolo now. I'm doing the dolo now. But guess what? It's love to them and all that. But you think people ain't seen who puts in the work?
Exactly.
Who wants to who really love this shit?
Yeah. And it's not for everybody, and that's okay. Find what it is that you love. And I wish you all the best, and I will help you achieve that.
Same goal, bro. I wish everybody the best. But I know for this space, I ain't come this far to come this far, bro.
Man, look.
I don't want a couple people in my Rolodex. I'm telling you, I'm going to be the Clarence Avon, bro.
Man,
when they need something to happen, you too, bro. You've got those type of relations where they can be like, yo, son, I need something to happen. I make something shake right now. You've been working on that for 10 years. I make it shake right now. Bing! It shook.
Exactly.
Don't need nothing from me. Just pay it forward, bro.
That's all I need.
That's why we're going to get rich. That's why.
It's our time, bro. It's our time, bro.
We're going to be rich.
It's our time. It's real. And, bro, man, likewise, I'm so proud of what you're doing, what you built. It's funny that Steve was the connector. You got to think about it. I think he even just posted something like knowing what he just did with Parkwood. What was that, like 10 or whatever, 17 years ago with Lemonade and putting out Beyonce's album. Like, he's worked with so many incredible people as well. And he was just like, he hit me. He was like, hey, man, I need y'all to connect. We didn't know how we needed to connect. We didn't know what we was connecting on. We literally said, say less.
You know what's funny?
We got on the phone.
You know what's funny? He said the same shit to me, son. I didn't know he said that to you, son.
No, he said,
nah, son, I'm so glad y'all connected. Make it happen.
Make it happen. We didn't know what it was, though. He was just like, hey, y'all get on. Didn't need to. I said, say less.
You said, nigga, you co-signed. You said we need to talk. We got to talk. Because I trust you. And then when we got on the phone, it's nothing. And look at us now, bro. So I know when we post this shit, you're going to be like, my guys.
Yep.
And that's just what it is. That's what it's about. So for anybody,
and that's what it's about.
Journey, man, we on the same path, but we have different paths.
Yep.
You see what bro's doing, man. He went out there, played ball, took a risk on himself, kept working. But while he's working, he's like, yo, what does life look like afterwards? I'm going to get the information. I'm going to map it out. We got to stop with the, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm with the manifesting on, but you got to put in the work. Manifestation is nothing without work.
Without the work. You got to put the work in.
You got to put in the work. You can't cheat it. You only cheat yourself. You heard his story. He didn't cheat anything. Went back to Northwestern, got his master's, relied on a relationship. Yo, fam, I'm trying to do this, but that they wouldn't have picked up if he had not put in the work. They would have not picked up had they not seen him put in the work. He did that. Got another opportunity. Kept it real with them. Said, yo, you know what? I can't, you know what I'm saying? That's a better opportunity. Yo, what's the opportunity? Yo, it's over at ESPN. Go do that. I'm proud of you. Once again, the Tom Brady in the 7th round, they're like, I'm just glad I saw it first. And now we like this, right? And then from there, you move on to Nike, then the Jordan brand. And then you realize that, yo, your purpose. So for everybody listening, we all have a purpose. You have to find that out. And if you don't find it, it's not me. It's just life. Think about what the shit. And somebody told me some real shit. I want y'all to really think about this. Show me your calendar and I'll show you what's important to you. What do you put in time into? Is it you? Is it your family? Is it for the goal? Is it for all that? Or what are you doing? What are you doing, man? I know me and this brother right here, we working on generational wealth. We working on get our IP to our kids.
Yep.
We working on making sure that our community is straight. We trying to make sure that all that shit happens. What you did with the fucking, you changed somebody's life. They'll never tell you. You'll never get the Christmas card. You'll never get the text message. But you're going to get it when you're like 40, 50 years old, bro. And some random kid is going to come up to you and be like, yo, I remember you from the joint. You brought LeBron through. And guess what? I'm in the NBA now. That's what it's for. You can't buy that. So once again, what do you define as success? Is that we are what the stories we tell ourselves. Motherfucker, you won already. You won already. Everything else is bonus. We ain't supposed to be here. I'm from the Bronx. You from Chicago. One thing could have happened and we wouldn't be here on this fucking pod. One thing could have happened. One bad decision could have happened. One not waking up with the right time. One not putting in the work, bro. Look at it. So I just want you from brother to brother, and I got to do the shit myself. Understand who the fuck we are. I had a conversation with a millionaire in Los Angeles, and you know what he said? He said, you nigga, stop acting like you're not that nigga. Stop acting like you're not that nigga. Like it's not, if you're doing the work, why are you afraid to show that you are that? Why are you not afraid to, you Shogun, nigga, you like this, your shit glowing.
Yep.
Why? You feel me?
But you ain't using your tool and just let that thing go.
Let it go. Let it go, bro. So that's what we trying to tell y'all, man. We did that. Are we where we want to be? Actually, we're exactly where we need to be. We may not be where we want to be. We're exactly where we need to be. We're learning and growing, and we are the next generation, the ones that's going to own independent media.
Yep.
We got content right now. I said it the other day, bro. I got more views than Hot 97 in the morning on YouTube on some videos. I'm not mad, bro. And a shout out to them brothers. And I'm not trying to say that, nigga, I'm on the couch. My son's off the show.
Yep. He about to shut it down. Yes, sir.
They told me I was crazy. They laughed at me. They laughed at him. It was people that didn't believe. It was people that left. People that said, nah, you bugging. Imagine we did listen to that.
Exactly. And those are the ones we love. You know what I'm saying? Those are the ones we love.
That's it. I still love you. And guess what, man? We got to win, man. Bob, you got to come end it off. We about to rock out, man. But I just want to say, bro, you know we locked in, man. Welcome to the Morning Title family, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You want to show anything I can do. It's a text message.
You already know.
Text
yes,
message.
Sir. You already know. Likewise.
When you come to New York, red carpet. You in the town.
Done and done.
Coming to see you.
Yes, sir.
So
exactly. Yes, sir.
Great time. I don't give a fuck what we do. We go get a drink, go this, go to the bar. Whatever you want to do, bro, we good.
We done. Yes, sir.
And I mean that shit. Please utilize it.
Likewise.
Love for us to build. Let's figure out what it is. Let's figure out how we can utilize our resources. Let's get to the next level, man. Let's expedite this shit if we can. If not, let's keep grinding, bro.
Let's do it, my brother.
Let's do it,
yes,
man.
Sir.
Wait, I'm trying to get my little man to end it. Are you
yeah.
What's going on? You so excited to end the show off, and you're not here when I call you, baby. We rocking.
Oh, he shut it down for the night.
Hey,
Oh
hey,
man.
come on, Pop, in here. Come on, you with it? You still with me? Come on, what we gonna say, man?
Thank you for joining More Than a Title.
Yeah, we
Yes,
out here.
sir, my man.
We out here. More Than a Title. We'll be back Tuesday. We got a great episode lined up for y'all, man. I'm so proud to be doing this with my son, my brother, man. And we're gonna do it, man. This is what it is. This is real as it gets, man. We here. More Than a Title. We're gonna see y'all. Let's get this Knicks win tonight, man. Game 3.
Game 3. We out, yes, sir.
Let's
Peace,
get it
y'all.
off.